And ladies and gentlemen, welcome back into the Main Event Broadcasting Network. I'm joined by Emory University head coach Mike Twardoski. Coach, congratulations on another regional championship here at Piedmont.
Thanks a lot.
No problem. We surely enjoyed watching your kids play, and just so impressed as a coach myself, as the folks listening into the broadcast. I was fortunate enough to jump on the radio for most of the games. Just so impressed with the resiliency of your team, losing the first game of the regional here this year. And of course, you have a different club this year than you did last year, but virtually the same thing, losing the second game last year and just winning so many NCAA tournament elimination games. Is there a secret to your team's success winning all these elimination games?
Chemistry, camaraderie, hard work. Whenever you have consistency like we did, we worked very hard when we got out of our finals at Emory. And in the last 4 days, we had 8-hour days, and these guys, worked very, very hard, especially our pitching staff, which we needed to log some innings in this weekend. But, like I said, we didn't do a lot of things right. Today we didn't get a lot of bunts down. We didn't do, we didn't play great defense, but the one thing that I heard from our team, from our parents, from fans, is this: we refuse to lose. And that's kind of how the team was last year and how the team was this year.
And that's just wonderful. If we could, for a few minutes, just going to go through the couple games here, and then we'll, of course, touch on today. After dropping the first game to Pacific Lutheran in a game you actually had a lead in late, your closer, Kyle Monk, who's been so reliable, and we saw such great performances from him throughout this regional, he ends up giving up a couple runs, maybe some defensive play that couldn't get made, a tough play there, and you guys fall in the first game, but you turn to senior Connor Dillman to pitch the next game for you against Methodist University, another top 10 nationally ranked team. Talk a little bit about Connor and what he's meant to your success this season.
Well, first and foremost, he's hurt, and he's pitching through pain right now, and his pitch is his curveball, and right now his elbow's killing him, and he can't get over top of his curveball. So, it was all guts from him, and I'll tell you right now, he would not let me take him out, just like Jackson today, and that's a part of the chemistry that we have here. But Connor, he gutted out pitches, and once he got a little bit loose, that's when he got his feet under him and he made some quality pitches. But he's a leader, he's a captain, he's a senior, and he just wouldn't lose. He would not lose his last game of his career.
Sure. Well, he hopefully will get some more opportunities now as you guys will be preparing to head on. But as we continue through the tournament, the next game was Marietta yesterday, and if you asked our listeners and the people here in the stands what the most dramatic play in this NCAA tournament was, many might point to that 2-run home run by Ryan Hanahan, the Marietta third baseman, as he was able to give his club a 2-1 lead. But again, with just 1 inning to play, the resiliency, you talked about camaraderie, chemistry, all those things put to the test. And Ben Visveri, a guy that has played in some of the games, Jordan Selbach starting some of the games as well, comes up with a really clutch base hit, and of course several more clutch hits, being named to the all-tournament team. But talk about Visveri and maybe that 9th inning specifically.
Sure, Ben and Jordan Selbach have been platooning over at first base, and Ben has been swinging the bat very, very well of late. And it was just something where he got a good pitch and he hit a gap ball to score it. But Phil Maldari got on and got that double for Ben to get the hit. But he hit that big double. Ben hit that big double down the line for us to add on some runs today. And the one thing about Ben is he's played great defense for us too over at first base. But it's like anything, they grabbed a little momentum, and then we took it back by some clutch hitting. And Ben was one of the clutch hitters for us today and throughout the tournament.
Certainly, and you mentioned it's a different guy a lot of times. And as we got into today, you needed to win 2 games, a very tough test. Pacific Lutheran and Birmingham Southern, 2 quality programs. You get through Pacific Lutheran. You allow a couple runs early. Your starter, Morola, gave up 3 in the first. And again, the resiliency on display, a quick comeback. And I'd like to maybe point to Randolph coming in that game in the first inning in a tough situation and giving you 5 1/3 innings out of the bullpen.
Sure, a freshman coming in that situation. He pitched with heart, he pitched with determination, and he threw a lot of strikes. And that's what we needed in that situation. We needed strike throwing so that we could make some plays behind him. I feel bad for Paul. Paul has had a great career for us. But I'll tell you right now, I will not hesitate to go to Paul when we go to the World Series, because he, as you know, he's had some great games for us in UA competition, and last year during this tournament and the World Series, he had great games for us. So Matt Randolph, being a freshman, took the ball and he took control of the game to let us come back. Because if we would have given up more runs, it would have been a little bit tougher. But he was, he did a great job for us.
Yeah, and Coach, just a few more questions. Not one hitter specifically maybe standing out, but the lineup is, as a whole, really performing well together, 1 through 9. You mix the lineup up. Peacock with a big hit earlier today, hitting in the 7-hole in the first game, moving back up to the 1-hole. We've seen him over his career. Talk about Brett Lake and Peacock collecting their 200th career hit as part of this NCAA tournament.
Brett gets a lot of credit, which he should. I mean, the career that he's had is probably second to none as far as Emory. But Wes has always been that behind-the-scenes type of kid, and that with Brett, you kind of look and you see 200 and you go, okay. With Wes, he kind of sneaked up on us with 200, but he's always been there. He's always been there with power numbers when we needed it, stolen bases, great defense in the outfield. So, we've had a blessing for having those two as freshmen start in our outfield. And so, it's going to be tough losing both of those kids, but they're both great kids, and hopefully they're going to carry us at the World Series this year.
Sure. Peacock, as you know, we play each other every year, so he certainly hasn't snuck up on us. We've seen him as a good player all the while. Now, last question, Coach, that championship game. Talk about Jackson Weig and maybe the decision to pitch him out there on 2 days rest. I know he didn't want to come out. We saw the embrace on the mound when you took him out there. Talk about his performance, really a gutsy performance for him.
Well, first, there was no question that we would throw him on 2 days rest because he wouldn't let us throw anybody else. And taking him out, he's a sophomore, and he has a chance to go to the next level, and you never want to hurt a kid, but I couldn't take him out. And he wouldn't let me take him out. And I've been doing this for 17 years, and I'm afraid of a sophomore. But that's the heart that he gives you. That's the camaraderie they had. I mean, we had a freshman at shortstop that made a couple errors, and he was right with them. So like I said, a competitor, a great pitcher, and a kid that that led this team with his leadership on the mound that really won this game for us today.
Well, Coach, thank you for your time today. Congratulations to you, your team, and Emory University. We know you'll represent the South region very well at Appleton as you did last year, and we wish you the best of luck next week.
Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Folks, thank you very much for joining us in the Main Event Broadcasting Network. We're going to turn it over now. Stay with us. We've got some of Emory University's players at another site, so stay with us. They'll be interviewed here shortly.